Today's video, we are going to cover what websites are legit and what websites are not legit. I get this question all the time when you're doing online arbitrage. Is this site safe to buy from? Am I going to get ripped off? Am I going to get scammed? So I have a whole list here of things that I look for and check off to make sure this site is legit. It gets easier with time. You're going to run into this if you also hire virtual assistants to source for you, because they will find some weird sites that are probably you are not aware of. So this list will be super helpful. So I'm going to kind of go over the things that I look for. So number one, if you want the exact spreadsheet I have used to sell over $3 million on Amazon, how I track my buys, how I track my best sources, where I put links to my favorite sites. I have a spreadsheet that I've spent the last 2-3 years building. If you want access to it, it is absolutely free. Just go to the free resources section down below this video. 100% free. Now let's get back to the podcast. Before we even get into this, always know it's always best to use a credit card, PayPal, or Apple Pay or something like that to protect yourself. So I am a big fan of using American Express for stuff. If I put something on the American Express card, the website never sends it. I can't get a hold of a website. I have no problem calling American Express and be like, hey, this site ripped me off. They will refund me right away and kind of go into that website, how it works, or what's going on there. So I never worry when I'm spending on websites because I'm using mostly credit cards and stuff that protects me. So that's just a caveat. Number one, website name. Now this is a big one. I'm going to give you kind of an obvious one. Let's just say the website was johnscheapstanleycups.com versus let's say World Cup Emporium or something like that, right? John's Cheap Cups sounds weird, not really probably going to be legit. You want to stay away from that stuff at all costs. If it looks weird, you will know if a website looks weird and it's just not up to date. So just be aware of that. The name could play a big role in this. 2, the pricing is way too low. This is a great way to get caught buying fake and stolen goods. Let's just say a Stanley Cup, for instance, is $40 on Dick's and on Amazon. Well, the website is selling them for $20 and they're not on sale. There's not some crazy Black Friday deal going on. That is probably a illegitimate site and those goods aren't fake. They might be fake or they're not real. That is just something you want to stay away from. Account health is super important and you do not want to get stuck selling fake products to make $5 or $10 on them. So if the price it seems way too good to be true, it typically is, and that's something I would personally stay away from. Number 3, they don't take major credit cards, they don't take PayPal, and they don't take Shop Pay or Apple Pay. Now, they do not have to do all of those, but major credit cards would be a major red flag for me. If a website did not accept that, if they accept PayPal, Apple Pay, Shop Pay, that's usually pretty safe, especially with PayPal. It will also help avoid order cancellations because the site's gonna be like, well, he went through PayPal. This is all good. This is legit. So if they're not accepting that, that is definitely a red flag for me. The next one, do they have any social media presence? What you are looking for here is probably, I don't know, just a Facebook account, an Instagram account, anything with any amount of followers. I would say you probably want to shoot for like 500 to at least 8,000 followers. Basically what you're doing here is, I've come across some sites before, I'm like, I have never heard of this. I go to their Facebook page and there's 100,000 people that are following them. Obviously, they did not get 100,000 followers by being scammers. So that is always good to look at social accounts. What you also could do with social accounts, what I kind of do, I like that as protection. because I can complain on social media. At this point, I've built up my Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. So if there is an issue, I could always tag that brand and hopefully get someone's attention to get them to look into a issue if I have one. Number 6 is going to be easy contact information. If you can't find an address, an email address, a phone number, a chat box, that is usually a really bad sign. Or an email address too. You want to be able to get a hold of this company should anything go wrong. It would be really, really weird for a company not to have a help button or a support button on their website. So if a site does not have that, I would kind of stay away from that. Again, does not have to have all the stuff, but it would be great to see a support, a phone number, an email, just something that says, hey, listen, we are legit. Here's our address. If you want to contact us, here's our stuff. So easy contact info. This last one, well, I have a last one, then a bonus. You want to think in your head, if you have an issue with Amazon, do you think they would accept the invoice? So if Amazon said these water bottles are fake and you submit a invoice for John's cheap water bottles, Amazon is probably not going to accept that invoice just based on the name. It doesn't sound legit at all. I'm sure if that was a site, it wouldn't really look that great either, or there'd be just a bunch of rip-off Stanley Cup images on there. So that's super, super important to keep in mind. Hey, if I had to send an invoice to Amazon, does this site sound legit? So that is a big one. And then just the last one overall, when you are going and buying from a site for the first time, always do a small test buy. I would never go to a site that I thought was a little sketchy and drop $1,000. Drop $100, $200 maybe. Just make sure everything comes, everything looks legit. The last thing you want is to spend $1,000 on a site. All these water bottles are fake, and now you really have no recourse. So you kind of lose twice. Not only do you have bad inventory that you can't sell on Amazon, you also have this massive charge, and you can't really get it back from the brand. So those are my tips for determining whether a website is legit. And the last one you could do is just type it into Google, is John's water bottle site legit? And there'll be a bunch of companies that pop up. Just got to be careful with that. I think Trustpilot is definitely one of them. I think they say Amazon is a wishy-washy site based on some feedback and reviews. So take that with a grain of salt. But if you see like a lot of Better Business Reports or issues like that, stay away from that site. There are so many websites out there that are legit. Do not take a risk. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.